Hi guys, welcome to Ihaskar. My name is Kriti, and today on the second episode of Scandalous Lovers of History, we're discussing the queen, the husband, and the slave. There are three main characters in our history study today. Razia Sultan, Iltutmish's nominated heir and the first Muslim woman ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, who ditched the parda, adorned masculine attires, and called herself Sultan instead of Sultana to exude authority as a female in a man's world. Altunia, Razia's childhood friend, a supposed lover who was member of 40 Chehalgani Turks under Iltutmish. Story goes that he abducted Razia out of his love for her and later on married her, becoming her official royal consort. And Yaqut, a Siddi African slave under the service of Iltutmish and later Razia, who went on to become a close confidant of Razia and enjoyed great positions of power like the Amir-ul-Umara or the Amir of all Amirs. Now, ever since our post-independent India has unearthed the story of Razia as of no less fame than a Bollywood superstar, time and again they have tried to associate a man with her. A childhood friend, a lover, a slave. Because not only does it fuel some drama, but also dilute the magnificence of the tale of the first woman ruler who was more capable than her brothers to sit on the throne of the Delhi Sultanate. This little video is an attempt to look at all the popular perceptions of Razia and her story and check out the historicity of all of them. Was it really such an amorous tale as Bollywood would like us to believe, or was it something else entirely? Our first scenario was popularized by Ann TV's 2015 serial drama on Razia, which boasts of a childhood companionship between Razia and Altunia, which turned into a lover's relationship. The feelings which Altunia had harbored for Razia ever since his childhood days in this narrative function as a justification for his abducting the Sultan once she begins to rely on other people for political support and stability. For example, her slave Yaqut. Altunia was jealous, Razia was ignorant, and so when Altunia abducted Razia and made her realize of his feelings for her, she accepted them and conceded to marriage. There is not much need of a narrative on Yaqut in this scenario, as the love between Razia and Altunia was apparently always mutual. The second scenario is what even contemporary historians like Ibn Battuta portrayed. Razia fell in love with her slave Yaqut, and because of her patronage, he rose in power and acquired positions which were reserved only for Turkic nobility. This growing proximity of Yaqut with Razia, along with his racial humbleness, earned him a lot of spite from the Turkish nobles of the 40 Chehalgani Turks, especially Altunia, who obviously wanted to become the royal consort. Moreover, this apparent love affair was cited by the Turkish nobles as the frailty of Razia's gender, and thus rendering her unable to serve as Sultan. They asked for her dethronement. Now, this narrative was popularized in the Indian psyche by the 1983 film on Razia Sultan, which starred Hema Malini and Dharmendra. Good thing is, this narrative, this story, this setup has been completely abandoned by present-day historiography, as they believe that this apparent love story between Razia and Yaqut was simply rumors which were circulated by the 40 Chehalgani Turks in order to dethrone her. Now, these are the two main narratives dominating the popular Indian consciousness about this love triangle, and I don't have any problem with a good love story, but I do genuinely believe that history should be read right. Simple facts and no drama. Because ideologies, opinions formed on a wrong or a misreading, misunderstanding, or misinterpretation of history, even though it's as little as a love story, leads to a wrongly functioning society. And I'll wage a war against love for that. So now, consider a final scenario that I put up to you. There are no illicit relations between Razia and Yaqut. She relies on him for political stability and power, as her enthronement is constantly under question, and he is a devoted slave to her. He rises in ranks with her patronage as she needs to surround herself with people whom she can trust. Malik Altunia is no lover. He is one of the 40 Chehalgani Turks who are factionally divided amongst themselves as to who will be the next Sultan after Iltutmish. Many of them want the Sultanate for themselves, as it is after all the Mamluk or the slave dynasty, where a slave or a banda could equally inherit a master's kingdom as his sons. Iltutmish had inherited the kingdom from his master Qutbuddin Aibak, who in turn had inherited from his own Muhammad Ghori. And so Altunia abducts Razia in greed of the empire, as becoming her consort would grant him an indirect entry into the bloodline of the previous Sultan. Now, if you think I'm throwing arrows in dark just to persuade you, remember that's what Iltutmish had done with Qutbuddin Aibak. In your middle school, you might have read that Iltutmish was a slave turned son-in-law. He had married Qutbuddin Aibak's daughter. And from the point of view of Razia, she again married Malik Altunia only for political and military support. Purely a marriage of convenience on both sides. What do you think? Which scenario fits the best? Doesn't it become quite simple once you take love out of the picture? Subscribe for more.